So welcome back to Hustle Front. Today we're going to be looking at 5 common mistakes real estate buyers are making in Kenya. Coming up. Mistake number 1 is trusting what the seller is saying or their agents. So the main goal of the seller or their agent is to make you buy. So they're going to present only what they want you to hear. So you have to be very, very careful. If you don't verify what they're telling you, you're likely to get yourself in trouble. So don't believe everything the seller says. So if they're telling you the ground is here, please make sure you verify. If they're saying the title is okay, it's original and all that, you don't have to believe them. Play the devil's advocate in this game and ask as many questions as possible to be able to verify. And if there are other parties that can help you verify what the seller is saying, please make use of them. Don't believe what the seller says, because as you're saying, they have their own interests. They're trying to serve their interests. They want you to buy. So make sure you don't believe what they're saying. So make sure you verify everything and use third parties, use surveyors, use independent agents to help you verify the information that has been supplied to you by either the seller or their agent, so that you don't fall prey to conmen. The second mistake is the most surprising. I do not understand why people do this, but it is buying virtually. You haven't seen anything, you haven't seen the property that you're buying. You're buying a piece in Laikipia, but you haven't seen it and you're paying money for that. I think that is crazy in my opinion. Maybe forgiven if I'm too harsh, but I think if you're buying something, you're putting money. You should put your money where your mouth is. Please understand what you're buying. The challenge with real estate is that it's about location, location, location. You can't shift your land to another location if it is in the wrong position, in the wrong location. So please make sure you go visit the ground, see the neighborhood. If I told you, for example, let us be honest here. If I told you I have a car, let's say you're looking for a car, and I told you I have a car somewhere parked in Nairobi, and you haven't seen it, would you pay for that? Would you pay if I told you I'm selling it for 400? Would you pay if you haven't seen it? Man, let us not make these crazy mistakes that I see people buying. Because, you're buying pieces of land that are not likely even to help you in the next 100 years. You might die even before you benefit from some of these real estate, because you never go there to see them. So don't make this crazy mistake of buying something that you have not seen. See the neighborhood, see what is around, see the infrastructure around. Don't just trust the seller because they have a big company or they are reputable or something close to that. Please go see the ground. That mistake I see people making is buying a property without an investment plan. So when you're buying some of this, when you're acquiring some of these properties, what do you intend to do with them? Is it for speculation? And if it is for speculation, how long do you intend to hold on to that property? Which are the timeline? When do you expect to recover your money? When do you expect your money to double or to increase with whatever percentage? You must have a plan. If it is for building, when are you planning to build? So it is good to have an investment plan, because some of the things that I've seen people acquiring, they may never help them in their lifetime. Maybe their kids will enjoy the benefits. So without an investment plan, in advance, you're likely to acquire the wrong property that will not fit into your investment plan. So for example, if you're buying something for retirement, you have to buy in a place that is likely to grow fast. Otherwise, you're going to retire and die without benefiting. So I've seen people acquire properties, as I'm saying, that are not likely to help them in their lifetime, because they didn't have a plan when they were buying. They were emotional. They had people who were buying property. They were excited. They went, have some money here. So there are people who is selling property. They went and bought a property that just because they wanted to feel good when acquiring that property. So you have to be careful. Have a plan in advance. How long do you intend to recover your money? How long do you intend, if it is a buy and hold strategy, how long do you plan to keep that property? 5 years, 10 years? So if you're going to keep it for 5 years, how much do you expect that property to recoup? You must have a plan. You can't go blindly into investment and expect, go pray and hope. Investment is about trying to control the outcome. So if you leave it to hope and dependence and hoping that the government may build infrastructure in such places, I mean, you can operate that way if you're an investor. So make sure you have a plan in advance and make sure before you buy the property, do your research to see at least, you may not be sure, of course, there's no 100%. You can predict what is likely to happen in the future, but make sure you have, at least you have done your ground research and make sure your buying is connected to your plan. So another mistake I see people making is falling prey to marketing gimmick. What do I mean by this? I see all over in the news, in the newspapers, people marketing, they're saying, a certain property in a certain place is going to double in 2 to 3 months. Let us be very honest. Why can the seller wait for 2 to 3 months to, sell it at double price? Ask yourself these questions. I'm very skeptical when I'm buying something. I don't know whether that is the right thing to do. I see other, marketing gimmicks such as, I know celebrities buying, properties. Just the other day, market has become so irrational. The other day I had Elon Musk tweeted, I don't know, about Bitcoin, and the price for Bitcoin went up. I think that's crazy. I'm sorry. I don't understand. How are people becoming so irrational? Just because that guy could be smoking marijuana somewhere, and then a crazy idea comes up in tweets about Bitcoin, and you guys believe he's telling the truth? Whatever he's saying is going to come to fruition. So the thing is, please do not fall prey. Another one here, very common in Kenya, is there are bypasses all over. You go to Kisumu, you're buying a piece of land, guy tells you, there's a bypass, coming through here to Ethiopia. Then you go to Laikipia, another guy tells you there's a bypass to Ethiopia. Just why is Ethiopia in the first place? So do not buy because of things that are likely to come. Don't follow what people are doing. Please understand the property prices. Look for people to advise you so that you make sure you make the right decision. The fifth mistake I see people making is following the crowd. I hear people asking questions, where are people buying land? We want to go buy where they buy. Where are people buying land in Kenya? Are they buying in Matu? Are they buying in Laikipia? I want to go and buy there. Why follow the crowd? What if the crowd is wrong? Actually, Buffett as an investor says, when the crowd is greedy, it's time to run. When they're buying, you should be selling. So don't follow the crowd, because sometimes, as you have seen, the market have become so irrational. The things that people are doing, the things that the crowd is doing is not driven by, fundamentals. They're just crazy. So don't follow them. So make sure you base your decision on the right fundamentals. There was a book I was reading the other day that tries to explain why people follow the crowd. The name of the book is Influence, Psychology of Persuasion by Robert. So there's a concept there he tries to explain why people follow the crowd. And he's calling it the concept of social proof, where people observe what others are doing. If majority of people are doing something, they assume that that is right. So the fact that people are buying land in certain places does not mean they know what they're doing. So do not fall prey to some of these mistakes. Be very, very careful not to follow what everybody is doing, because sometimes, as I've said, market people become so irrational, and most of us don't know what you're doing. The sixth and the final mistake that I see people making is lack of basic real estate knowledge. So if somebody gives you a title, are you able to tell whether this is a 50 by 100? Are you able to tell whether this is a quarter an acre? Are you able to tell whether it's 1 acre or 5 acres? Are you able to read? Are you able to convert hectares to acres and all, and vice versa? So this is real estate knowledge. So if somebody tells you this is a 50 by 100, you've gone to the ground, can you be able to verify whether it's really a 50 by 100? Do you know the measurement of 50 by 100? Or when people say 50 by 100, do you even understand? Can you tell whether this is a quarter an acre on the ground? So these are basics. Can you be able to read the documents that come from land? Would you be able to know whether a piece of land is charged, whether it has a loan? Are you able to do all these things? So these are basics. So make sure you don't put your money somewhere that you don't, in an area that you don't understand. At least learn the basic. You may not become an expert in that field, but at least when you're putting your money there, have an idea of what this is all about. If you're buying a 50 by, because the reason I'm saying this, we have so many comments around. Most people are telling people you're buying an acre. So if you go to the ground to measure, and I've done this for some few people, you realize that it is not an eighth, it is less than an eighth, it is a 40 by 80, it's a 40 by 60, but whoever sold it to them told them it's a 50 by 100, it's an eighth an acre. If you don't understand the basics, that's what I'm saying, if you don't understand the basics, you're likely to be conned. In a nutshell, what I'm saying is, please, if you don't understand some of these things that I've talked about, please find someone to guide you to go through the process of acquiring a property. So if you're buying land, for example, in Kiambu, I can help you. And if I can, in areas where I can't help, I can always direct you to people who can help you. And some other parts of Nakuru County, some other parts of Laikipia County, I can help or direct you to people who can help you. So see you next time. Make sure you don't make these mistakes.